Hi everyone, welcome back to Gluten Free Habit. I'm Linda, and today I'm going to show you how to make these gluten-free jumbo chocolate chip muffins, and they are delicious. Who can resist a muffin? Because I know I can't. They're soft and delicious, and they come in so many flavors. You can grab one on the way out the door if you're running late. They're a sweet part of breakfast, and they're just a great treat any time of day. What's not to love? Thanks to everyone who requested a muffin recipe, because I love hearing your suggestions and turning them into recipes and videos. If you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you'll take a minute to do that. And whether you're a current subscriber or a new subscriber, make sure you click the bell icon and turn on all notifications so you're the first to know when I post a new recipe. The full recipe for these muffins can be found on my website at glutenfreehabit.com. And now let's take a look at our ingredients. You'll need some white rice flour, brown rice flour, xanthan gum, baking powder, baking soda, a little salt, granulated sugar, light brown sugar, some butter, a couple of large eggs, buttermilk, vanilla, and some semi-sweet chocolate chips. And of course you'll need your muffin tin, and a large spoon or an ice cream scooper, and some paper muffin liners. Okay, let's get a few things ready. Grab a microwave-safe bowl and chop your butter into smaller pieces. I just do this to make it melt a little bit faster. Now melt that in your microwave. In mine, it takes about 25 seconds, and just set that aside to cool. Now put your muffin liners in your pan. And if they're doing this where they keep popping up, it can make filling them really messy. So what I like to do is take a little bit of shortening and rub it on the bottom of the liner and press it into the pan. This just helps hold it in place. Although you can make these without the liners if you spray first with cooking spray, I personally prefer them for easy cleanup and just the fact that it's a cleaner way to handle the muffins. Now scoop out about 1/4 cup of your chocolate chips and just keep those separate because we'll use those to top the muffins. And finally, preheat your oven to 425 degrees. Okay, we're ready to get started. To a medium-sized mixing bowl, add all of your dry ingredients. That includes your white rice flour, your brown rice flour, baking powder, baking soda, xanthan gum, and salt. Now whisk this together really well. Remember, when you're measuring out your gluten-free flours, make sure not to scoop your measuring cup into the bag because this would result in too much flour. Instead, spoon the flour into the measuring cup and then level it off with the back side of a knife. And of course, if you have a kitchen scale, that's the most accurate. And I've listed all of those measurements in the recipe. And just set that aside. And now to a large mixing bowl, add your granulated sugar, light brown sugar. The light brown sugar will help hold the moisture in, and the melted butter. Mix this together really well. Now add both the eggs, and stir until they're really well blended in. At this point, the butter is still a little bit warm, but not hot, so there's no worry that the eggs will start to cook when you add them in. I love that this recipe can be made without even using a beater. It's so simple. And now add in the buttermilk. And vanilla. Mix this up carefully since there's a lot of liquid in there. You'll know that you're done stirring when the streaks of buttermilk disappear. And now add in your dry mixture. Stir until it's thoroughly combined. Add in your chocolate chips. Stir that up. And the quantity of chocolate chips is entirely up to you. If you're a super chocolate lover like I am, you might want to add a little extra. And I've also done this recipe with the mini chocolate chips, and those work out perfectly as well. All right, we're ready to fill the pan. My personal preference is to use an ice cream scooper, but you can definitely use a large spoon. The ice cream scooper is just a little bit quicker and it keeps it a little bit cleaner. You can make these muffins jumbo sized as I'm doing here, but of course you can also make them regular sized. The only difference is in the baking time. So just make sure you follow the recipe carefully for whichever size muffin you're doing. But no matter which size you're making, you'll want to fill these almost to the top. And as always, make sure they're equally filled so that they bake evenly. The full recipe will make 8 jumbo or 16 regular muffins, but this recipe can also be cut in half perfectly if you don't need that many. Now take those extra chocolate chips that we set aside and sprinkle those on top. And this is not necessary, but it just gives the muffin that finishing touch. And I actually like to push mine in a little bit with my finger or with a knife so that they're sunk into the muffin just a little bit. And they're ready to go in the oven. We're going to start these at 425 degrees, but only for the first 5 minutes. The little bit of extra heat at the beginning helps our muffins to rise. After 5 minutes, turn the temperature down to 350 for the remainder of the bake time. And while you want to watch the bake time to see when they're done, the most important guide is a toothpick. If you insert a toothpick in the middle and it comes out clean, your muffins are done. Okay, when they're done baking, remove your beautiful muffins from the oven. Don't these look delicious? They're golden brown, they've risen nicely, and they smell amazing. We want to immediately remove these from the hot pan and transfer them over to a cooling rack so they don't continue baking. I think you're going to love this recipe. It's so easygoing. They turn out perfectly every time I make them. And here's a close-up. The chocolate chips will be very, very hot, so as much as you want to dig right in, I recommend that you wait and let them cool just a little bit so that you don't burn yourself. And these are delicious warm or cool with a great big glass of cold milk. And if by some miracle you have any leftovers, you can store those in an airtight container. And if you want that fresh baked taste tomorrow, these warm up perfectly in the microwave. And there you go, gluten-free jumbo chocolate chip muffins. And I'm going to break one open so you can see how beautiful these are from the inside. They're soft, moist, and they have a great texture. If you found this video helpful, please do me a favor and click the thumbs up button. And definitely take a second and say hi down in the comments section below. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next gluten-free habit recipe. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay well, spread a little kindness, and I'll see you next time on Gluten Free Habit.